Hey, what's up everyone? It's your Fly Tech guy Mark, and I know it's been a while, I do apologize, but for today's review, we're going to be talking about the new Google Chromecast TV. Now this is the remote control right here, and it's a pretty nice remote, but you know, that's not that big of a deal. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's the newest TV for Google, not for everybody else. This is something that's been used from Amazon, Roku, Apple, and Google's finally catching up with their version of it. But instead of talking about it here, let's talk about it over there by the TV. So before we talk about the TV itself, let's talk a little bit more about this controller. It's a pretty nice controller, and like Google said, it's pretty comforting and invites you to pick it up and start using it. Now it has the navigation controls up here, up, down, select, those types of things, and then 6 different buttons plus a power and source button. Then you have your volume rocker right here to control the TV volume, which is pretty nice. So let's get into some of the buttons, right? We have your simple go back button, that's easy. The Google Assistant, which I think is perfect. Then you have your home button, mute button, YouTube. This one is programmable to either YouTube or YouTube TV if you have a subscription for that. And then your Netflix button. Then, like I said, the power and source on the bottom. Now let's just take a minute, and I just want to admire that Netflix was able to get their button on there, right? Google is a pretty big company, and being able to pay, I guess, Netflix to put their button on there, it's pretty big, right? I think Netflix is going to be able to get so much more usage now before anybody else goes to a different app. So I think people are going to click this Netflix button before they go to Hulu, before they go to Disney Plus, because it's there. And if you think about that advertising strategy, that's pretty amazing that a company could do that and then would get more usage out of their platform than another, you know. So that's just a random rant, but I think that's something pretty neat to think about. So let's talk more about the UI here. You have 6 different things you can go to. So the first is search. Now this is just Google Assistant telling you what it can do, and also some different searches maybe for sci-fi movies, cartoons, adventures, those types of things. So moving along, then you have the For You page. And the For You page is what this ecosystem really brings you, right? It brings you recommendations on what you watch and search and look up and like the best. So I think that's really neat. And you'll see here, right? If I wanted to watch something and it didn't have this little lock button right here, then I know that I can watch it. So this lock button tells me, hey, that one is on a subscription platform that you don't yet have, or you have to pay for that movie, that show. Now, if you look at Netflix right here, it doesn't have a lock button because I do have a subscription there, but Disney Plus does. So that's another neat thing that Google did with the UI, was show you, hey, you can watch this, you can't watch that, just so you know, and instead of clicking on it and saying, oh, I want to watch this, wait, I don't have a subscription there. So that's a pretty neat UI feature right there. And as we move along, we got your movies, and this one will show you those lock buttons more than often to subscriptions that you may not have, because these are just general movies, so a bunch of different genres. You know, you see the lock button, you don't see the lock button, and you can search through everything. Now this UI, right, this searching UI, scrolling through movies, I think it's really nice. When you look at other things like Roku, Amazon, Fire Stick, it's very condensed, compact, and you can't really search that much without getting so much anxiety because there's so much going on. This one's really spread out. It's neat, it's ordered, there's titles to what you're looking at, they pop up more. I think it's really nice UI. It's easy to search through everything and find what you want. Now, like I said, when you look at the movies and the shows, then you do get these recommendations that you may not have subscriptions to. But if you just go to the For You, you only get what you have. So I think that's really neat as well. Obviously, the shows, same thing as the movies, recommendations. For You, it will show you a lock if you don't have it, and if you do have it, you can go ahead and watch it. So that's pretty nice. And then apps, right? So you're getting a bunch of apps, just like you do on Apple TV, Fire Stick, Roku. You get as many apps as you want, and you can sign into them however you want, whether it's with your phone or on here. Again, pretty nice. Bunch of different apps to search through, and that's just the beauty of Google's ecosystem, right? They're going to give you multiple apps, multiple options for streaming devices, and that's what I kind of love. Now, there are some apps that I wish I had that I don't, say for instance Xfinity Watch, I can get that on my phone and stream it to the Google Chromecast, but I can't necessarily get it on here, so that's just a little downfall, but it's alright. It's not something that I have a big deal with, so that's just one thing, you know, to keep in the back of your mind. There's a bunch of apps you can get, but there are some that are not going to be available, and you'll still have to stream to your Chromecast. Lastly is the library. Now this is pretty awesome, right? How many times have you looked up on your phone, on Google, or on your computer, and you search a movie that you haven't yet watched, and you put it to your watch list? Now that watch list is kept, and it's kept here, so it's all integrated in the ecosystem. Now if I wanted to, say, save this movie to my watch list on my phone, come back to the TV and say, hey, I want to watch that movie, what was it called again? Oh, well, let me go to my watch list. There it is. Now I can watch this movie. So again, that's a really neat feature in the ecosystem that I think is, you know, very good. It's very good to have this Google Assistant to be able to help you like that. So all those things are great, right? And there's about 1 to 1.5 things that I would say are wrong. And the first is that when you're going to watch a show on a certain app, the app's always going to have you log in and say, this is the user Mark, right? So you don't have to necessarily log in, but you have to tell who's watching. I wish that this was integrated somehow where it always knew, hey, Mark is going to watch from this device. I'm sure that's going to be an upgrade in the later version, maybe down the road somewhere, but having to, you know, go on HBO Max and then say, who's watching? Mark. Almost every time is kind of frustrating. Now, if I were to watch something on HBO Max, cancel out, look for a different show or movie, and then go ahead and watch another movie on HBO Max, it would just log me in as Mark. But sometimes, you know, overnight or something, if I was logged out for a little bit, then it would ask me to tell who was watching again. So that's just a little something. And then this half point is that you can't create different accounts under my account. You can add accounts. So if I wanted to add a different Gmail account, I could add that account and do everything I wanted to on that account. But if I'm logged in as Mark right now, that's all I'm going to get is only Mark. I can't log in under, you know, a Mark and then account Y or account X. It's just Mark. That's it. And then if you have a different Gmail account, you can add a Gmail account. So that's pretty much it. I think this is a really nice device, and having to be able to control everything from here and not your phone is just a huge perk. Now, is it an upgrade? Should you buy it? Personally, once I saw that it had a controller, I said yes. I'm a college kid and all I do is stream. I don't have TV, I don't have cable, so having to stream from my old Chromecast, just watching all those shows from my phone and then saying, all right, I want to go on Chromecast and stream it, was kind of annoying, right? I had to look through all the different apps and say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do this one. Wait, let me look at this other app, let me look at this other app, let me look. It was frustrating, right? Now I have a place where I can look at everything, and I didn't want to invest in a Fire Stick or a Roku because that just was not integrated with my ecosystem right now. So having something integrated with my ecosystem, getting a Chromecast that I still can stream things to, I still can, you know, stream my screen to this Chromecast, but now I don't have to do it as much because I can see everything that's going on, all the different options that I have right here. It's huge. And I think it is worth the $50 for this cool Chromecast TV. I think you guys will enjoy it a lot. It's definitely a big upgrade from what I was using before, and it's a pretty sweet device. So I hope you guys liked it. Leave some comments about what you want to do. Pixel 5 videos coming out soon. You know, we all don't get to have it right off the bat. Some of us got to wait a little bit, and that's all right because I still really do enjoy those phones, so I'm excited to get hands-on with that. But I'm going to go ahead and watch a show, so I'll catch you guys in the next one in a couple more weeks.